Hello, my friend. This is Greg Hennett bringing you more Water from the Rock. Today's message is titled, The Justice Test. True justice is truly apolitical. That is, it takes no account of your political views or affiliation. And any form of justice that is political is truly unjust. If you are fine with your government prosecuting those not sharing your political views on the basis of hearsay, not hard evidence, you are unjust. If you are fine with your government not prosecuting those who share your political views when there is clear, hard evidence that they have committed not only real crimes but repeated crimes, you are unjust. If you are sad to see those sharing your political views justly prosecuted, yet you support the prosecution anyway, because it preserves something higher than politics, namely, the integrity of law and order, you are just. And if you are glad to see those not sharing your political views cleared of all charges made against them by politically motivated prosecutors, because it helps keep the pillars of justice in place, you are just. If you are fine with someone of your demographic group, your race, gender, religion, socioeconomic group, etc., obviously breaking the law, wronging others, or resisting authorities without suffering legal consequences, you are unjust. Conversely, if you are glad when those not of your demographic identity are legally punished or lose civil cases without any solid evidence of wrongdoing, you are unjust. If you believe those of your demographic identity should bear legal responsibility for their intentional lawbreaking, and those not of your demographic identity should not suffer court judgments when they have committed no offense, you are just. Furthermore, if you feel people who have never enslaved anyone, though some of their ancestors did so, should make reparations to individuals who have never personally been enslaved, though some of their ancestors were, you are unjust. And I would then ask you this question. Would you also then feel you should make reparations to the descendants of those whom your great-great-great-grandfather robbed or defrauded, or repay taxes he failed to pay 100 or even 200 years ago? If, however, you believe people who have personally enslaved others should make reparations to those they have personally enslaved, such as when God's Old Testament law required thieves to make restitution to those they robbed, or when God permitted the Hebrew slaves to despoil the Egyptians because they had long spoiled their lives with bitter bondage, you are just. This is the restitution principle taught by God's Word, which is the original source and teaches the very essence of true justice. God's Word declares parents are not to be punished for their children's sins, nor are children to be punished for their parents' sins. Or, succinctly, quote, the soul that sinneth, it shall die, end quote. Ezekiel 18:20. History has proven this. No society that gives itself over to a headlong plunge into unbelief, sins, and immorality of every kind can long maintain such accurate scales of justice. Corrupt justice always follows corrupt living. And our culture today in America, despite all its technological prowess, is no different. So this is the justice test. It is being administered daily as you listen to and internalize the unceasing madness we call news, with all its cries of injustice and countercries for justice. Are you paying attention? Are you taking the exam? Or are you skipping class? I would humbly ask you to take this justice test. Why? When the pillars of justice collapse, the state soon follows. Long a bastion of right, looked to by the wronged, the weak, and the oppressed, and the hopeless. American justice is dying a slow but sure death right before our very eyes. The home of the brave and the land of the free is fast becoming the home of the crooked and the land of liars. And those daring to speak out about it make themselves big fat targets for the government-backed social media thought police George Orwell warned us about in his then futuristic novel 1984. May God awaken His church, the only light in this or any land, and return it to living by the integrity of His Word, the eternal light of the Scriptures. May He then, in His forbearing mercy, roll back the curse of politically motivated injustice in this land and restore truly apolitical justice, truly administered. And may He not stop until the rapidly spreading cancer of darkness and lies and cheating that is devouring justice everywhere is eradicated, and we bid good riddance to groundless indictments, intentionally overlooked crimes, and a formerly effective watchdog press that has forgotten how to bark and bite when true criminals arrive on scene. Long ago, the prophet Amos wrote what needs to be written again on our hearts in these troubled times. Let justice run down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Amos 5:24. Or, let there be a flood of justice that establishes ever-flowing fairness. So, my friend, take this justice test. Grade yourself honestly, and make any adjustments of thought in life necessary. The examiner is coming soon, you know. The Scriptures say these things. The judge stands before the door, James 5, verse 9. He will judge all people fairly, Psalm 96, verse 10. And He will set everything right, treat everyone fair. May He find you and me and millions of others holding to His justice when He suddenly intervenes in these unjust times. Well, that's all for today, my friend. For more information about my books, courses, teaching videos, and devotional messages, please visit us at greghinnantministries.org. That is GregHinnant ministries.org. And also at Greg Hinnant on YouTube and Facebook. And may Jesus richly bless you. Maranatha, He comes.